Hi, welcome to a short video on my custom 3D pathfinding system. So in this video, I'm just going to go over some work I've been doing today, which I thought I wouldn't have to do, which is making my own 3D pathfinding. I did have a solution from someone else. It was a work in progress that they had, and I thought it was working fine, but unfortunately, it had errors when I tried to build it. And I mean, he did say it was work in progress, and I don't really want to wait and see what happens to it because he might abandon it, who knows. The other solution obviously was to buy a 3D pathfinding system middleware. They do exist, but they cost too much. I mean, they're used by big companies like the one that some people might know is called Havok, but the lowest price I saw was $10,000. That's just too much for me. So I decided to make my own system, and what I thought about was basically what I used to do, something I studied when I was in college in astrophysics, is how light comes out of a star. And it kind of just bumps around from atom to atom, picking random directions. So I tried that at first. The problem was with that system, it just wouldn't find anything. It wouldn't find the goal. So basically the way this works is you have a start and a goal, and it just kind of would bumble around. Sometimes it would find it okay, but if it was too complicated, it would just get really confused. So after a lot of trial and error, I did find a system that works. The main reason why I wanted to make my own system is, first of all, the AI, the pathing I need from AI is not very complicated. I don't need super complicated ducking and cover and reacting to player and things like that when it comes to pathfinding. And also I kind of wanted to try to avoid a system that used a nav mesh. Most systems use nav meshes, but they do take up a lot of memory. So I think the system I have now should work okay. I've been testing it most of the day now, and it seems to finally get it to work. And how it works, before I show what it looks like, I'm just going to go over how it works. So basically what I do is a NPC will, or anything else really, will request request a path to be built, which will have steps from a start to an end point. And it will run through a while loop with a lot of checks to make sure it doesn't break. I even have a max iteration just in case. And it will go and try to get the next step, basically. So it starts with the first step, and the system I decided to use was using the cardinal points around each step. So you will go, front, back, left, right, top, bottom, and then diagonally into, if you imagine a box, a cube around the point, it would also go to each edge of the box as well. And so basically what it does, it checks all these points. I just have them enumerated in a list here. And basically it checks each one to see if it hit anything. And if it didn't hit anything, it adds them to a secondary list of potential next steps in the pathing. Then it goes through that list and it tries to find the one that is closest in terms of direction to the end goal. And also it tries to make sure that it's not a point that it's already been to, because the problem I had early on was it would continuously bounce back and forth between ones that I'd already visited if there was no other valid path. So that's basically how it works. It took me a long while to figure this one out. I had to go back and relearn some trigonometry, which I haven't done in a very long time. And I'm just going to show it now in different situations. So this is just obviously a very small scene, but it kind of helps represent, kind of like very small paths and also kind of hard paths. I'll show as well. So if we look at the first, so basically you have the start point here and the goal is over here. And if we simulate, here you can see how at every step it's kind of raying out, trying to find somewhere to go. And here you can see the path. So there you go. Let's move the goal to, say, over here. Simulate again. And you can see, obviously this one's a bit easier. The steps do have the same size. I could make it more efficient by just kind of going as far as it could. I might do that. We'll see. But yeah, So that's that. Let's try to make maybe the pathing a little bit more complicated. I did want to make sure to test it in as many kind of convoluted paths as I could, just because you never know. Even though my levels are mostly procedurally generated, but they are spaced, so there's lots and lots and lots of areas for them to kind of be able to wiggle through. So there shouldn't be too many super tight paths. So let's put this. It's kind of hard to see in 3D where this is, but let's put this over here. Oops, no, he's inside. No, obviously he won't be able to make it inside. So here, and then we simulate, and there you go. So here you can see how it's kind of bouncing around. The one thing that took me the longest to try to fix, so here it's okay. The main problem here is with really tight paths that are hard to find. It goes a bit mental. It does get there eventually, though. So here, for example, I want to go from here down to here. Now, obviously, if you knew what you were doing, it'd be easier, but he's just guessing. He's just trying to find the best possible path. So this will look a little crazy. Yep. So here you go. So it does have a hard time finding these for some reason. It kind of bounces around, goes around, trying to find, because it really wants to go just through objects, but it can't, obviously. So it kind of hovers around trying to find an entrance when it can. And it does eventually find one, which is the main thing. Because originally I was hitting 10 million iterations, and then the engine was crying at me, and my computer RAM was completely full, because I basically had infinite loops going off, basically. But now it does work, and I'm happy with that. So, and this is an extreme case. Most cases, NPCs won't have to path like that. So here, just by making it a lot simpler, there you go. The pathing works fine for what I wanted to do, and this is the vast majority of what I wanted to do. Just simple paths, not going around crazy, tight bends or anything like that. So I'm really happy with this, considering I was getting desperate. I was thought, if my only choice is a commercial product, I can't afford that. I can't afford $10,000 middleware. So yeah, considering that it only took me a day, it was a long day though. I mean, I've been working on this pretty much from early morning until now, which is quite late. But yeah, there it is. It is working. So thankfully, my NPCs will be able to roam around once more. Thank you very much for watching. Please check out hellscoregames.com if you'd like to know more. And if you would like to help out, I'm also on Patreon at patreon.com/hellscoregames. Thank you.